This isn't a new product or anything, but I did recently pick up the AirPods Pro 3, and I thought, why don't I just go ahead and review some cases for it? So that's where we're at. Let's get started. First off, we'll get started with the Onyx Magnetic. The Ringke Onyx comes with the case in two separate pieces, a double-sided adhesive, and a carabiner ring. The Ringke Onyx is made out of a single layer of TPU, so it is flexible and also very slim as well. It's pretty lightweight at 20.9 grams. And here it is. Here's a close-up of all the sides. As we can see, there is a nice open cutout for the speaker as well as the charging port. There's also a cutout for the indicator light on the front. There is a notch on the back so you can open up the top without any interference. You can also access the built-in strap hole on the side here, but if you want something a bit more substantial, you can use the built-in strap holder on the side here as well. This case does have a slight texture to it. It feels like a smooth pebble almost. It's very nice to the touch. There's also a texture on the sides. I imagine it's there to help with gripping the AirPods, but generally I don't think it's something that you need to really worry about much. The big theme of today's video is MagSafe cases, and as you can see, there are 4 magnets on the back here. And these magnets not only help with sticking the case onto the MagSafe charger, but it also helps position it into the right position for best charging. It also just works with standard wireless charging, if that's more to your fancy. And because this is a case made to be slim and lightweight, I definitely won't say that it's the most protective, but it generally does the job well. So we're starting off with something pretty simple. The Ringke Onyx is priced at $24.99 USD on Amazon. The weight is 20.9 grams, which is super lightweight. The features that I noticed is that it has a very minimalistic design. It is slim, lightweight, and easy to use. Instantly open and closing. You can easily grab your AirPods on the go, whatever. But the one negative I do have is that it does offer only minimal drop protection. It's definitely not made for heavy duty use. But frankly, I personally prefer a form like this rather than something super bulky anyway. But it does really depend on the individual. So if you're someone like me who just wants something simple, gets the job done, keeps scratches off at the very least, this isn't a bad case to go for. Next up, I have the Spigen Ultra Hybrid. The Spigen Ultra Hybrid comes with the case, which comes in 2 pieces, as well as a carabiner ring. As the name states, this is a hybrid case with a polycarbonate outer shell, as well as TPU frames. It's not a very flexible case, however, it has a very sturdy, rigid structure to it. It is a bit heavier and noticeably bulkier than the Ringke Onyx at 26.1 grams. And here it is. The speaker cutout is nicely open, as well as the charging port. On the front, the indicator light can be seen through the case. There is a cutout for the built-in strap hole, and there is an extra larger strap hole on the side here, which you can use to hook on your carabiner ring. I will say that I do prefer the way Ringke gave you this extra ring right here. It does offer more versatility with the carabiner. On Spigen, you just have to use it like this, and it is a bit stiff at times, I've noticed, and kind of hard to use. This case is connected from the top and bottom via a hinge at the sides here. I have been opening and closing the case for a bit, and there hasn't been any issues with the top sliding off the top of the charging case here. So it does fit very well and easy to use as well. And this is also a magnetic case, although the magnets aren't visible, but it should still stick onto your MagSafe charger like so. It also works with regular wireless charging. Although this case is heavier and bulkier than the Ringke Onyx, I still wouldn't consider it to be a protective case. It should do the job of keeping off scratches at the very least, but let's also test the drop protection. Oh, so the top did fly off and the AirPods did fall out. The top flying off is one thing. I think that is just a design flaw from Spigen, but the AirPods falling out, I can't really blame the case for it. The AirPod itself is just kind of like that. And like I said, this isn't a really drop protection case so much as it's kind of a stylistic design case that just keeps scratches off your AirPods, which I think is more than enough. So in summary, the Spigen Ultra Hybrid is priced on Amazon at $39.99 USD. It weighs about 26.1 grams, which isn't heavy, but it is heavier than the Ringke Onyx from earlier. Features, I would consider this to be a pretty minimalistic case. It doesn't have a lot of frills to it. It's just a standard case. I would consider this to be slim for what it is, lightweight as well, easy to use, open it up, take out your AirPods, you're on the go. A couple negatives is that it does offer minimal drop protection. I would say at the very most, you can use this reliably against scratches. And at $39.99, it's super expensive for what it is. This is definitely the pricing of the brand name and definitely not reflective of the quality of the case. Quality-wise, it's pretty standard for what you can get on Amazon for maybe 20 bucks. It's definitely not worth $39.99. If you can get it on a sale, do that instead. Don't pay full price for this. It's an AirPod case. Next up, we have this Maxjoy case. The Maxjoy case does come with this secondary outer shell. It's pretty good quality, to be honest. The case itself comes in two separate parts. It also comes with a AirPod cleaner and a carabiner, as well as, I think this is a dust cap for your AirPods. This is a dual layer case to some extent. There is a TPU lining as well as a polycarbonate kind of outer shell that doesn't go around fully, but just kind of to the front of the AirPods. We're getting into a bit of a heavier territory at 36.8 grams. And here it is. There is a cutout for the speaker hole as well as the charging port here. There's a strap hole here on the side. However, the built-in strap hole from Apple is covered up by the case. There's a notch on the back to help open up and close the case easier. I have noticed that this case is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. I don't know if it shows up well on the camera, but it does look very smudged and dirty from just my handling just now. I'm not dirty, I swear, it's just lotion. A neat feature that this case has is that it does have a secure lock and it has a reverse magnet on the inside here, so it automatically opens up, as you can see, making it really easy to just kind of press the button, it'll pop open, and then you just use your AirPods. It just snaps closed as well, and the locking mechanism is pretty reliable. Another cool feature is that this part right here opens up like so, and you can use it to prop up your phone like a makeshift stand. And here are the magnets on the back, and it works with MagSafe charging. Also works with regular wireless charging. As this case is dual layered, I feel like it does stand a bit more chance in drop protection compared to the other two we've already reviewed. So let's give it a whirl. Oh, shoot! I broke something. So here's the aftermath of that fiasco. As you can see, I did break the case. The lock feature did pop right off. One sec. This is a great time to mention that this thing that I thought was a dust cover for the charger port might actually be something to help uninstall the case. As we can see, pretty easy. So after much struggle, I was able to get the latch back on here. However, it won't stay closed anymore. And because there is the reverse magnets on here, the top doesn't close either because the magnets will automatically push up against each other. This case is broke. So the Maxjoy case, the price, it's $16.99 USD on Amazon. Weight is 36.8 grams, which is in light. It's definitely heavier than the other two we've already reviewed. It does have the double layered feature to it, which does explain why it's a bit heavier. It does come with the extra holding case. There's a safety lock, technically. It comes with a phone stand as well, which is also a bit finicky. It has the auto open feature. And honestly, at $16.99, it's super affordable for what it offers, and it's a pretty consumer-friendly price. However, as we've noticed, it is incredibly flimsy, and you're just kind of getting what you pay for in the end, as the overall quality, including the materials used, do feel cheap, to be honest. The best made thing from this is this holding case. I really like it. As the case itself, yeah, no comment. Next up is the ESR Flicklock magnetic case. The Flicklock case does come with the case in two separate pieces, including the built-in double-sided adhesive on the top. It has a cleaner for the AirPods, a removal tool, we've learned that, and a little strap. The Flicklock case is also a dual-layered case with a TPU inside and a polycarbonate shell. It's a pretty good weight at 34.3 grams. And here it is. Although the speaker and the charging port have nicely sized cutouts, I'm not sure why the cutout on the side here is so wide like that. It's not an issue, to be fair. On the side here, we have a strap hole that ESR gave us that's kind of built over this strap hole that Apple gave us. Not a problem either. On the front here, there is also a little cutout for the indicator light, so you can check whether the AirPods are charging correctly or not. Probably the most noticeable feature about this case is the lock on the front. It's the flick lock, as it were. It does have a reverse magnet on the rim, so whenever you open it up, it will just pop open on its own, like so. It feels very nice, smooth, and satisfying. Honestly, I could just kind of do this forever. I will also say that the texture on this case is incredibly smooth. I did say earlier that maybe the grip isn't that important on the AirPod case, but handling this now, I take my words back. It's pretty slippery. I understand why ESR gave us a strap instead of a regular carabiner, because you definitely need it in order to keep hold of this case. It's so slippery. Although the magnets are hidden, this is still a MagSafe case, so you can just snap it onto a MagSafe charger to charge your AirPods, like so. Or you can use the regular wireless charger, and it'll still work. Honestly, I'm a little worried about the lock on this case as well, even though it is dual layered. It will protect the body of the AirPods, but I'm not sure about the integrity of the case itself, so let's test it out. 2.5 feet. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked because the AirPods popped out. There's a lock on this thing. So thankfully, the case itself is unharmed. However, the AirPods did pop out. What's the point of the lock if that's gonna happen? So in summary of the ESR Cyber Flicklock, the price is $19.99 USD on Amazon. Weight at 34.3 grams, it's about middling. It's not lightweight, but it's not super heavy either. Features, it has the secure lock, which is very smooth and easy to operate. It's dual layered protection with polycarbonate and TPU. I think it's pretty affordable at $19.99 for this kind of quality. It's premium quality. I can definitely feel that they put a lot of care into the design and the materials used for it. Some small minor nitpicks that I want to get to is that the texture is slippery. It does not really grip well in your hand, you definitely want to use the strap that it comes with for extra security. The lock is fairly weak. All you need is a single flick to get it to open. And if you drop it the wrong way, it could potentially kind of flick open the lock here as such, and you could lose your AirPods in a bad situation. All that said, I do still think this is an excellent case at an excellent price point. If you're just looking for something simple and with a secure lock that could or could not help, it really depends on your luck, this is a great case to go for. Next up is the Supcase UB Pro. So I actually received this as a promotional item from Supcase, so I don't know if it comes with anything other than the carabiner that is already attached here, as you can see. Sorry about that. This is also a dual-layered case with a TPU inside and a polycarbonate shell on the outside. Very heavy duty. So it is noticeably bulky and heavier than the other cases we've reviewed thus far at 62.2 grams. And here it is. Hidden underneath this little flap is another flap, and underneath that flap is the charger port. The speaker here is kind of covered up as well, and even if it wasn't, with all the flaps that are kind of in its way, I wouldn't count on the speakers to be super audible in here. This is a heavy-duty, bulky case, as you can see. There isn't even a notch on the back, it's all just covered up. If you want to use accessories aside from this carabiner, you can go ahead and use this little strap hole right here. This thing is really protected to the max. Aside from the lock right here, there's a secondary lock where you can use it to kind of just make sure the top stays in place in case the secure lock here fails, as we've seen happen in some of the other cases. When you press the lock, the top flap just kind of pops open, like so. One more time. Yeah, that's really fast. However, the top of the AirPods case doesn't pop open along with it, so you do have to go ahead and manually open that up as well. And closing it also takes some effort. I opened it up earlier, but this flap here, we've seen it before on the other case, but it does act as a phone stand as well. And here it is in action. Another claim that this case made is that it's waterproof. So in order to test that, I brought a bowl of water. As my test, I'm gonna put in this piece of tissue into the case, close it, lock it. Oh, there's a little bit peeking out. Make sure it's really in there. Close it, lock it. Make sure all the flaps are closed as well. No tissue picking out, and after soaking it for about a minute, I dried everything off to make sure my hands don't get the tissue wet when I'm taking it out. And yeah, that's completely dry. Excellent. Although the waterproof thing is pretty cool, another cool feature that it has is that it's MagSafe compatible. It's also wireless charger compatible. Yeah, you can barely hear any sound. Now, all the other cases that we've reviewed thus far, I didn't really believe them to be drop protection cases. However, I kind of think this is going to withstand the test of impact, to say the least. So let's try it out. 2.5 feet and oh yeah, excellent. And that was the Supcase UB Pro. So the price is $45.99 USD on Amazon. Weight is definitely on the heavier side at 62.2 grams. In terms of features, there does have the double safety lock. the phone stand, and the excellent drop protection, as well as the waterproof ability. In terms of some things that might turn you off, is that the overall size and weight is definitely incredible, for lack of more positive terminology. It's also inconvenient to use. The double lock, while it is secure, it does require you to just have to take that extra step in order to reach your AirPods. And even just opening it up, it doesn't automatically open up the top. So you do have to take the extra step to open up your AirPods in order to reach it. And then you have to close it, lock it. It's a lot to go through in order to just listen to some music. Ugh. And also, at $45.99, this is probably the most expensive case on the list. It's very expensive. I will say, however, that this type of case does appeal very, very much to a very niche audience of people who just want something super protective and hard enough that you can throw at someone and kill them. That's an exaggeration. All that said, if the positives of this case just really appeal to you despite the high price point, this is the case to go for. And these are all the cases that I have for the AirPods Pro 3. Let me know in the comments if this video helped you out some. Maybe it steered you away from certain cases and towards others. Or if you have a case you'd like to recommend to me and others, go ahead and let me know in the comments as well.